welcome to the Blockchain Futurist Conference. And I have a pleasure to introduce here Jennifer Schell from Finliti. Welcome, my financial friend.
Thank you, my fellow financial friend. And thank you to all of you financial friends out there. Anna, it's a pleasure to be here. So happy to have this discussion.
Well, first of all, thank you also for being today with us and speaking about the issues which are pertaining to investment. Too often, probably from your professional experience, you could see the situation, the scenario when it comes follow and fail, meaning we observing what others are doing,
Yes.
and then we following and copying these steps, yet those steps might not be suitable for us because of our either short or long-term goals or even our risk tolerance.
Right.
So, and they are different personalities. So how you can actually see this in the financial world, like what is the solution for people when they coming across indecision when it comes to investment or falling into the trap of the wrong decision? What is the key point for them in understanding themselves and their own criteria?
So number one thing you need to do is to build confidence. If you have that confidence in your abilities and you know the basics, that's very powerful knowledge. And that's the foundation that you need to build a successful process that's going to make you well.
So how you can be confident? How to build this confidence?
You know what? You just have to start today. So all you need is about half hour of learning every day for, let's say you even did it for a week, and you'd be amazed at your before and after at how much knowledge you accumulate and how far that can take you on your investment journey and your understanding of really understanding and moving forward to build your wealth or to start building a process that's going to work for you.
Yes. So from your experience, when you're actually dealing with people who are investing in different products,
Yes.
what are like key mistakes that people are often making?
Well, it's like you don't want to really blame yourself in that situation because the industry makes it really, really difficult to understand all those new novel products that are going on. You know, you have this knowledge that you take for granted. You build up your wealth through education or financial education, an MBA, Bachelor of Commerce, reading on who knows what textbooks on the economic strategies of the global world and how it works. But really, it's about going into the basics and really just taking some basic understanding of how the world works in terms of our capital market system. So it's understanding that there's demand and there's supply. And those are the two foundational aspects, really understanding what's going on in the world. And so what you get is you get a lot of people who get enticed by these influencers who seem to have it all made. And, you know, they provide this illusion of grandeur where they've got, you know, millions or even that could be tons of followers, and they portray that image of success. And so we like to imitate success, and we want to be that way too. So oftentimes we can get duped by fancy marketing practices when really you need to understand some of the basics so that you can discern what is a good investment and what is a bad investment. So really the basic building blocks to foundational understanding is a little bit of knowledge, just accumulating some knowledge and learning what's really interesting to you to begin.
So what are the sources for knowledge?
So I would really look for credible sources of information. You know, the banks actually do provide a lot of legitimate information to get you started. It's very dry and jargony, and that can be a problem because people get bored and it's not exciting, so it's really difficult to learn. That's why I'm trying to make it fun and just breaking down some of that jargon so that you can relate to it and expand your knowledge and begin to be as passionate about investing in the world of finance as I am, because
Yes.
It's an obsession for me. A good one,
So,
healthy one.
so we can say that starting a change should be starting with oneself. So that has actually a meaning. that we're learning, we're understanding ourselves first, and then we can proceed further, and then we can actually tap into the investment which is suitable for us. And also at that time, it gives us gratification. We are happy with what we are doing. And I think also it's very important for people to understand that those criteria can change depending on the age, but also life circumstances.
Yes.
We might be rich one day and then something happens,
Yeah.
right? And the circumstances changes and our approach to investment changes as well, or some family situation that we have to acknowledge. What I've noticed also is that nowadays a lot of people are traveling. They settling in different spots. They bringing their own cultural influences, and the investment in one part of the world might be different than, for example, investment in North America. How do you see those differences and how those people can really tap in the wealth of the country they are settling in?
Yeah, you're right. A lot has to do with where you're brought up and the influences around you. And I think you touched on a really good point about knowing yourself and knowing how you react to certain situations, because wherever you are in the world, there are opportunities and there are things that drive you, and there are those core values that really align with who you are as a person. And it's important to tap into some of those values and to discover who you are as an investor, where you want to go with your life goals. Everybody has different priorities. Some people want a family, they want stability, they want security, they just want a nice, relaxing, low-key life. And that's totally cool. You want a goat farm, you want to live off the land, all the power to you. Some others want a really more vibrant lifestyle. They want to live in the city, they want to experience the nightlife, they want a fast-paced world, and that's okay too. So it's really important to understand which values and goals align with you, and to not listen to what everybody else is trying to say is best for you, but you have to do what's best for yourself. And that can be anywhere in the world, wherever you are. So, we're all drawn to community. So we're kind of like a product of whoever's around us. So it might be a good thing to just explore a new type of community that aligns more with your core values and your interests, and to pursue that. And the more motivated you are to learn, I feel the more successful you can be.
So right now we are in the era of new technologies and fintech companies offering automated advice or offering automated investment. How do you compare those platforms to the traditional investment?
I do believe that there are really good things that are established in the current financial system. So, namely compliance, making sure that the consumers are looked after, that there's no fraud going on. They have anti-money laundering practices to keep people safe, and there are safeguards to make sure that you're not investing in something that's really overly risky. Now, the problem with that is sometimes you can cap yourself on the opportunity or the potential that you have, because a lot of these solutions are designed to keep you safe and conservative, and not to explore the highest potential returns. So, for example, passive investing is encouraged, where passive investing is basically a set it and forget it approach, where you have a diversified basket of holdings from different areas or sectors. And the whole idea is to give you a broad-based exposure to the capital markets and to the economy that exists in a balanced way. Now, that's great, and that's a really, really good start, but we can go beyond that. And where fintech can help is to really provide really more sophisticated solutions and really good solutions, and give that access to everybody, and to really truly democratize finance. Because as it stands, it's really expensive to be able to give advice to people, individuals, unless you have significant amounts of capital. So there's a real big gap there, where the people who need that financial advice the most, people who are getting started, people who are starting out their careers and building their families, and who are your next generation of high net worth investors, they are not getting access to that advice and guidance that they really need. And I believe that fintech and digital technologies can really fill in that gap and make it more accessible. And the more we know about AI, the more we know about machine learning, the better we can design those algorithms and the overall arching algorithms to be able to drill down and fit into those individual objectives. But to do this, you need to really understand who you're dealing with. You need to understand the customer, their pain points, what they want, what they're trying to build, what they're trying to achieve. You really build something that's close to them, and then you can build the machine learning and the algorithms around that. Too often I find that the issue is we build AI technologies that don't really do any good. They don't really promote anyone's best interest.
They are too generalized.
Yeah, they're generic or cookie cutter. And like I said, it's a good start. We're there. And this is going to be a huge market opportunity for the whole world, especially those emerging markets who didn't have access to investing that we're so fortunate to have here in North America.
Yes. Well, I think from what you said, I understand that fintech technology is really pioneering when it comes to truly banking than bank. That's one thing. Also allowing for the fractional investment. Something what traditional banks, traditional investment companies didn't allow.
Yes, absolutely. A learning experience is great. Fractional investing is great. These are all really good ways to get everybody involved in the process. Because the more people who are involved in the capital markets experience, the better impact we can have, the better solutions we can find, and the more capital we can provide to these entrepreneurs who are really trying to make a difference in the world. And the best part is you don't have to do any work. You invest in these companies and management does all the work for you and you reap the benefits, which is really, really cool. One of my favorite things about investing. The one thing that really, really struck home to me, and this was like, an epiphany that just went off and it all made sense, is that we really need to tap into that human part of the investing process and spend less time focusing on the numbers, because the numbers are just the results of what management has achieved through the collaboration of their teams and what they've built in the human capital that you can't see. Those are the results that you're seeing, but you don't see what goes on the inside. You don't see that corporate culture. You don't see the management bringing that team together to build something great or to build something novel. And when you understand that and you really start to follow the story of these entrepreneurs and get to know them, get to know management, even reading the financial reports at the beginning, you can see, hey, where are they going with this? Where's the vision? And it translates well. And you can follow them on Twitter. And that's the beauty of social media now. You can follow everybody and see what they're up to. And you can see if that's really somebody that you'd stand behind as an investment thesis.
But we still need to understand that those platforms are developing as well. And we need to give time for them to be perfected.
100%. If you look at the applications that you all use, you'll notice so many flaws and you'll get frustrated because it doesn't do exactly what you want. And it's really important not to be perfect. The North American society has conditioned us to be perfect in everything we do. Instead of perfection, try curiosity and try to do something a little bit different. You may get a polarizing response. You may get some fans and you may get some haters, but that's when you know you've got something that's sparking a reaction, and an emotional reaction is the best kind of validation, in my opinion, that you're onto something worth pursuing.
So we can say that it's not about investing blindly or following what other people are doing. It's about knowing yourself, also understanding the platforms you are using, because they have different features as well. But the foundation comes to understanding yourself and your own criteria and your own values and your own goals.
And that's why I feel so strongly about really getting to know yourself. And that's why we devised a tool to be able to help you do that. Because some people don't like risk, that's true. But some people really enjoy the investing process. And others believe whatever authority tells them to do. and others just like to build their own investment process that's unique to them. So we're all different in a way, we're all snowflakes. Yes, we all are special, and let's just acknowledge that and embrace that and gravitate towards those processes that encourage us and motivate us to do better and to stick with our investing plan instead of following whatever everybody else is telling us to do. It's really understanding yourself that's important.
And ending up with growing and developing.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. It was such a pleasure speaking with you.